Hi, I'm Nate, a science teacher with a very great curiosity about how things work, with a very small budget for repairs. Welcome to my video on repairing a car door actuator, in this case for a 2004 Scion XB. I'm going to explain the mechanism first and then go through the trickier steps in this video, although it's not really terribly tricky. You ever read those do-it-yourself guides and think it sounds too hard? This project is not too hard, so hang in there and hopefully it will make sense. This is my door. I press the fob and the little motor called an actuator pushes or pulls the metal rod that you see, opening or closing the door. That is all there is to this mechanism that repair shops want over $250 to fix. Go buy a $10 universal actuator from Amazon and you can fix it yourself with a drill, a screwdriver, and a hacksaw or bolt cutter. Now I'm going to give you an overview, followed by more detailed steps. Here we see the Scion door with the panel and vapor barrier removed. In blue lettering, we can see the location of the original actuator and the electrical connection. We're having nothing to do with that. Just leave it in the door. We can see the brass bracket that holds the new blue-green colored actuator. We can see the new and old rods that connect to the lock, and we can see the new wiring. First, you remove the door panel by unscrewing the two Phillips screws indicated by red arrows. The door panel is held on by typical snap pins, so pull straight out at a corner of the door carefully and steadily pull until all of them pull out. The door is now attached by an electrical connection. I'm told it has a trigger you need to depress to remove it, but mine pulled right out. I guess that's what 10 years of desert heat will do to plastic. Now you can set the panel aside and carefully remove the plastic vapor barrier from the top. At this point, you need to fight that instinct to remove the old actuator. It's actually part of the latch mechanism, so just leave it alone. Yeah, leave these screws alone too. They're for removing the latch, and the latch isn't broken now, is it? This triangular space will hold the new actuator that you bought. Here you can see the two holes I drilled to attach the bracket. You're not here yet, but I wanted you to see where we're headed with this. Your goal is to make the actuator fit into the space as it does in this image. The front that looks like the muzzle of a gun, it needs room to move back and forth. See the window in there? And you can see the black vertical support with the glass to the right? It needs room to move freely too. Position the actuator so it fits and then drill holes for the bracket. Here the arrow and my finger indicate a place where the actuator just barely cleared the window. Note the placement of the right side of the bracket on the outside of the door. I originally placed it behind the door, but then the actuator interfered with the window and vice versa. The other spot that was a problem was the old rod. Here it runs over the top of the actuator, and the friction makes it hard to move. I tried bending it, but later I just cut it off. Your kit should come with two extra parts, a new rod and the 3-screw connector, which I'm sure has a better name than that. The new rod will be attached to the old one with the 3-screw connector, so that when you move the new rod, it moves the old one too, and that connects to the lock. You need to get the new rod attached to the actuator now while you still have room. It just slides into the hole in the end of the actuator. Here I am pointing to where I cut off the old rod. You can also see to the right of the 3-screw connector where I cut off the excess of the new rod. This made the rod mechanism much easier to move. The wiring was a snap. Splice the old wire to the new wire and attach with wire nuts. On mine, the orange striped wire attached to the green striped wire. Nothing was live. Here is the finished project. Reattach everything in order and you are done. Some folks charge $300 to complete this repair, so if we subtract the $10 actuator, you just got paid, if you worked for an hour, $290 an hour. Thanks for watching. I hope this helped you.